Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka GLauren33. I'm here with another video. It's been a pretty wild day of videos with all the news coming out. But you guys know I got you guys with the content. We're talking about WrestleMania 36, and this news just came out maybe about 15 minutes ago. It was announced on WWE's social media and announced by Rob Gronkowski that WrestleMania 36 will officially be a two-night event. All right, and the special guest host for this year will be Rob Gronkowski. We don't have a special guest host every single year, but every once in a while we do have a host. I think Alexa Bliss was the host last year. The year before that, I believe it may have been the New Day, if I was correct. We've had, The Rock hosted, etc., etc. So now Gronkowski, it was just reported last week that he did sign a long-term deal with WWE. There's rumors saying that he is going to be a performer. We don't know how often he's going to be a performer. I know people have their mixed thoughts on that. But that's it for another video. I don't want to talk about Rob Gronkowski performing because he probably won't be wrestling on this show, but he will be hosting. All right. And the rumors have it that what happens on this show will probably set up Gronkowski's feud going into SummerSlam. But yeah, that's also another video for another time. The big thing is WrestleMania is going to be split into two nights. And for anybody that's ever watched any of my reviews, I legit talk about this all the time. And I've had people disagree with me. I don't know if this is WWE watching my reviews and finally listening to me, but I've been saying now for years that WWE or WrestleMania in general should be a two-night event. For years now, it seems like every single year the WrestleMania show gets longer and longer. All right, it used to be like around 6 hours, now it goes up to 7 hours. I think last year's show was close to 8 hours long. And yes, we understand WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year. Like I always say, WrestleMania represents not just the WWE, but it represents the wrestling industry as a whole, as the biggest wrestling show of the year. I'm talking about WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Impact, House of Glory, etc., etc., etc. The list goes on and on. That's how big WrestleMania is. It's one of the biggest sporting events of the year. It's right up there with the NBA Finals, the Super Bowl, the World Series, the Stanley Cup, the NASCAR championships, all that. It's right up there when it comes to the biggest sporting events of the year. And we know with everything that's being canceled, with all, the NBA season now in doubt, we don't know what's going to happen with the NHL playoffs. The MLB, which was supposed to start in April, we don't know. Their season's been delayed till at least the beginning of July. And you see that WWE, AEW, they're still going on with business as usual. They're just doing their shows at the Performance Center with no crowd. And we know that right now WrestleMania is planned to have no crowd. Well, I have the real reason why. I already know why they're choosing not to do WrestleMania 36 in one night. One, someone finally got the memo to Vince that this show should not be 8 freaking hours long. All right? It's ridiculous. 8 hours? Please. Like, that's self-explanatory. As big as WrestleMania is, nobody wants to sit there, no matter if you're watching at home, no matter if you're in a crowd, nobody wants to sit there for 8 hours and watch that entire show. That's just too much. The human body should not be able to take that. And imagine, like, I remember last year, 8 hours of WrestleMania, if you count the pre-show, right? WrestleMania, the show itself, is about 5.5 to 6 hours, but the pre-show is like 2 hours, since they do like 3 or 4 matches on that show. Plus, after that, you have to do like a review that takes around an hour and a half, 2 hours. So that's combined about 9-10 hours on that one day dedicated to WrestleMania. All right, you guys can see all the problems there. So I am very happy that WWE finally made the decision to move WrestleMania to a two-night event. I've been saying this for years. There's so many matches on that card, and I understand why, but and thing is, it took them having to do WrestleMania in the Performance Center for them finally to get the memo that this is the way things should be done. I kind of a little bit ridiculous, because it really took WWE having this coronavirus outbreak to finally understand that WrestleMania should be a 2-night event. We don't know if this is going to be the way it's done for the future, because usually this is the only pay-per-view that's super duper long. SummerSlam, SummerSlam and Survivor Series, they can be long, but they're manageable. WrestleMania's been trending in this 7-8 hour direction for years now, and it's crazy. That's just so much wrestling, so much information to process. So I'm happy that they're going with the 2-night format. And the two reasons why is, doing an 8-hour show with no fans, like, the viewership's this good. As even though it's WrestleMania and millions are going to be watching, the viewership's just going to trend up and down because there's no sports, so you're going to get a lot of viewers, and it's being advertised as WrestleMania, no matter how much it's not WrestleMania. But this is the way it should have always been. What I would have done is, if you had it in the stadium, like the way it was supposed to be planned with the fans. And I'm talking about for years future. Why don't you just have the fans? Because WrestleMania tickets are not cheap. You're not going to have them buy 2 separate tickets for WrestleMania for both nights. You have, them buy their tickets, and that ticket count gets you into both day 1 and day 2 of WrestleMania. WWE does, packages all the time where you can buy tickets for all 4 days of a WWE weekend. I'm talking about SmackDown on Friday, NXT TakeOver on the Saturday, let's just say like the Royal Rumble on Sunday, and Raw to end things the Monday night. WWE does this all the time. They do it with their SummerSlam travel packages. You can buy, those packages on Ticketmaster, like they had an option for SummerSlam, so it's not like WWE can't do that for WrestleMania. Just have your ticket be able to get you in for both nights. All right, there's definitely, you just send whoever's buying the ticket two tickets with the same seat, and just do it that way. It's pretty simple if you ask me. But the real reason why they're also putting WrestleMania into a 2-night event is, one thing is the state of Florida, I believe, they don't want gatherings of over 50 people. And we all know how large the Raw and SmackDown rosters are. We know how large the main roster rosters are. So definitely, if you have, bring both of those rosters together, that's well over 50 people. Plus, you gotta count, the people that are, producing the show. Since there's gonna be no fans, but there's still, a good amount of people you need just to produce the show. Cameraman, commentators, lighting crew, everything. So definitely, I think that was to try to keep the number under 50. The last thing that I'm interested to see is, how are they going to break this down? And when I say that, I mean, is, are you going to have like one night dedicated to Raw and then another night dedicated to SmackDown, or are you going to mix it up? You're going to have some Raw matches and SmackDown matches on the first night, and then a second set of Raw and SmackDown matches, on the next night. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. This article states, WWE has not only announced a big change to WrestleMania 36, but also the fact that the host of the show has been officially announced. On Wednesday, the company announced that the biggest show of the year will be held over the course of 2 nights. The first night of the show will be on Saturday, April 4th, while the second night will take place on Sunday, April 9th. Both nights start at 7 p.m., 4 p.m. Pacific, and will air on the WWE Network. Former New England Patriot Rob Gronkowski will be hosting the show on both nights. The former NFL star, who is slated to appear on Friday Night SmackDown this week, tweeted. So basically, Gronk said he's excited and he will be on SmackDown on this Friday night to explain more. So I'm actually intrigued to see what other details they're going to have for us, how they're going to break this down, because this is history. This is history, and I got to applaud WWE for making the right move. I've been saying for years they should have a 2-night WrestleMania event. You have way too many matches on the card, and then it will keep the fans from getting fatigued, and hopefully it'll result in a better show altogether. So it's gonna be kind of crazy because we're gonna be streaming most likely those nights. So we're gonna have to do like 2 separate WrestleMania reviews. Probably like a WrestleMania Day 1 review and then a WrestleMania Day 2 review, which is going to be kind of cool but kind of weird at the same time. But definitely, when we get more details, I expect most of these shows to probably be about, I would guess, 4 hours long. Since the rest, so they're going to start at 7. Maybe they end around 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock max. It's going to depend on how many matches are on each show. And definitely the matches are going to have time to tell the stories. You know, we're going to probably see every single title in the company get defended on those nights. So it's going to be interesting. We still have about, it's March 18th, so we have about 2 weeks left, about 2.5 weeks left till WrestleMania. All right, as much as it doesn't feel like WrestleMania, the show's gonna go on, and it's gonna be definitely very interesting to see how they pull this off. But I will give WWE credit where credit is due. This is the right decision to finally make WrestleMania, a 2-night event. I think this is the way they should do it going forward for WrestleManias of the future. I hope they just don't. I know they're doing this mostly just because of the outbreak and everything, but if this has success, which I think it will, the big problem is they're not gonna have fans. Of course, we all know that's the huge problem. But if having the event on 2 different nights succeeds the way I think it will, it puts more focus on the matches. We don't have to be there for 8 hours. All these other things. This could be a really good thing for WWE. It could be, and it honestly, it should be like the format they going forward. You can do like Thursdays the Hall of Fame, Friday do Takeover, and Saturday and Sunday be WrestleMania, and you have your access. And this would be for years into the future, but we'll just have to wait and see. We still have 2.5 weeks left to go. We'll definitely get more information in the coming days, especially when Rob Gronkowski is on SmackDown this week. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys are staying safe. Right now, if you look at it, there's only been about 7 matches announced for WrestleMania, and most of these matches are Raw matches. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, AJ Styles versus Taker, Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler, Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. Those are 4 Raw matches, right? You have only 2 SmackDown matches have been announced so far: Cena versus Wyatt and Goldberg versus Reigns, and Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. I'll say it's a Raw match since most of that feud has taken place on Raw. So yeah, you basically have 5 Raw matches announced and only 2 SmackDown. So definitely there's gonna be more SmackDown matches announced in the coming days. But definitely this is a step in the right direction for WWE. We'll definitely, as we get more information in the coming days, I will make sure to provide that to you. But yeah, this is history. All right, this is history. It's going to be very interesting to see how this comes off. All right. Other than that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think. WrestleMania becoming a 2-night event. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys later. I'll keep you guys updated if there's any other breaking huge WrestleMania news. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day, guys. Peace.